Good morning, traders. Welcome to this week's Elliott Wave Forex and Cryptocurrency Market Analysis webinar. I hope you all had a wonderful week. Right, let's get right into it. If you'd like to contact us, check out our YouTube channel here. Under the description of all the videos, you'll find our contact details as well as our social media pages. There is a Facebook page that you can follow. Please click on the link directly so you can get to the right page. You can like the page on Facebook or follow us on Twitter for more content and charts that we post up on the social media pages. Our website as well, you can also check out our website, elliottwave-principle.com. That's where you can find more information about the course and our subscriptions there. So talking about the course, our next course starts on the 5th of October. It is a 10-day course. So the course is available immediately on videos when you make a booking. So that means by the time we have the live course in October, you'd already have the course. So check out the early bird specials there on the website or make an inquiry about those. Right, so let's get right into the analysis. So we'll start with the DXY and what we're expecting of the DXY. So what we're seeing here on the DXY is a move to the downside. But before we start with the DXY, and understand that some people that not necessarily understand how wave analysis work, and you get confused when you look at the charts. So that is because you do not know what you are looking for. If you knew what you were looking for, it does not matter how complex the chart looks, you will always see the waves in the chart. So let me give you an example. Okay, so just to give you an example, if you look at this structure here, it just looks like a messy structure, especially EURCAD. EURCAD has got mostly develops very complex structures like this here. So as a wave analyst, what do you even see here? What are you looking at? Do you see any structures? Do you see any of the Elliott wave patterns? Do you see any ABC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 WXY when you look at this chart? Okay, so just to give you an example of what I mean by when you know what you're looking for, you will see it in the chart. So let's have a look at this one on the 4 hour. It becomes worse on the 4 hour actually, but we'll do an identification of the patterns on the 4 hour. Just want to spend about 4 minutes looking at this structure so you can understand that when you know the structures, when you understand the characteristics of the patterns, you will always see these waves. So let's have a look at this. Just looking at this piece alone, I can already see the waves and the way this is moving. So what I do here is I see the familiar structures from the Elliott wave theories that Elliott has identified. So for example, here I see this is a structure, this is an expanding flat. I see here this is a zigzag, it's a 1, 2, 3 waves down. So I identified that as a zigzag. That is a zigzag down. So that is 1, 2, 3 zigzag. 1, 2, 3 up here, that's an expanding flat as I've already shown. And another zigzag with a short leg here placed like this. Let's do this one, show the degree here. So I'm going to show the zigzag with one line like I did with the first one here. So what I have identified here is the zigzag down, expanding flat, and a zigzag to the downside. Now that is the first leg. Now what about the second leg? Similarly on the second leg, I see here there is another structure here. That's another flat correction, call that one a running flat. Right, now you've got 3 waves up here. That's another structure. You've got another structure here in the smaller degree here. You've got 1, 2, 3 here. But like I did with the other one, I'm going to identify this one with a single line. Okay, can you see already that I have got a clear structure here? I've got a zigzag down, a expanding flat, and a move to the downside. And that in the higher degree is giving me 3 waves. This in the higher degrees is giving me 3 waves. And this is not forced because if you're getting these 3 waves, fractally, it must be exactly the same as you go down. It doesn't matter whether you go down to the 30 minutes or even the 1 minute time frame. You should see the number of waves clearly without forcing them. So what are we seeing here? We're seeing that this is a 3-way move to the downside. This is another 3-way move to the upside. This is another 3-way move to the downside. What about this here? You've got 1, 2, 3. You've got 1, 2, 3. You've got 1, you've got 2, you've got 3. If you go down to these waves, you will see that nothing is forced. It's exactly as it should be. It's exactly as how waves should move. So now 1, 2, 3. This is a WXY structure. Is it going to be a WXY structure? It can be a WXY. It can be an ABC. But talking about identifying the difference between those, that is a whole module that we cover in our course to identify when is it a double, when is it a ABC, WXY, when is it an ABC. Okay, you can also refer to our video that has got over 60,000 views now. It's called How to Trade Elliott Wave WXY or XZ like a pro. Check it out on my channel, How to Trade WXY XZ like a pro. You can check it out on the channel. So this is 3 waves down here. So we've just identified this structure. These are another 3 waves. So what are we expecting here? We're expecting that we could have the same degree here. That is why we have been selling EURCAD coming to the downside. Okay, so this structure could have changed and made a move to the upside. Then we would have adjusted, because as it was coming down here, it was coming down correctively, but we then realized that it was actually it looks like it is actually making a diagonal. So this could be an ABC structure here that we'll be looking for to the downside. So what are we looking at on EURCAD? So EURCAD, we're looking for continuation pattern to the downside to at least come down to that level. So every time you get a continuation pattern on EURCAD, start looking for sell setups, start looking for sell setup. So you'll sell that with confidence because you know the overall structure. So what I've shown you is only this structure. What if you understood the whole structure, the whole chart? So you will be able to trade any direction with confidence because you understand where the market is going. So that is EURCAD, and this is EURCAD on the daily. So I've only shown you this piece. What if all of this what if you understood all of this structure? So for example here, we've just looked at this. So this structure here, we could be making something like this. Okay, so we understand that we're still coming down here. So we could be making a continuation pattern. That's just to give you an example. Right, but we're not worried about that now. We're only looking at this to continue to the downside. That's what we're going to be looking at up until this level. Right, so let's go to the US dollar pair, so the DXY. So the DXY, let's go to our website here so you can see how we look at this structure. So the DXY, I'll look at the 4-hour. So this is the 4-hour on the DXY. We have been on a downtrend. We've been expecting this one to keep coming down here, possibly even making a diagonal here at the end. Are we ready to make a bounce here on the, to the upside on the DXY? We'll have a look at that and check the indicator as well if it's giving us confirmation that we're going to make a reversal. So what you're seeing here is we've got a bit of a bounce here, but this bounce is now out of this boundary. Let's go to the current chart and see how this is going. So we have been looking at this. We've been selling the US dollar from right at the top, but we're expecting that at this point here, this would have been the end, and then we're going to get this 3-wave move that we're expecting here around here. So that's how we trade. So that is the DXY. Let's look at the current chart on the DXY. So the DXY, that is the move. This is where we are currently. This is the last wave 5 that we're looking at here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. That is the wave 5 that we're looking for, and then we'll be expecting a bit of a bounce. Okay, so what structure will that be? That could be a 1, 2, it could be an A, B, C structure. We've started with an impulse. Okay, I think 2 weeks back, I showed you the structure that we're looking for overall here. This is the structure. This is a move to the upside. This is a 3-wave move here. This is a move to the upside. Now we have completed that move, and we are looking to come down with this move. We are coming down with that move. So as you can see here, we also had a sharp reversal, 3-wave pullback. So if we have the same thing here, this is still going to the downside. So what we are seeing here, we could be getting that 3 waves to the upside and then get this, which is similar to what has happened here. And then we're going to be looking at this one as an ABC structure. Okay, so let's go down to the lower time frame and see if we're getting that 3-wave pullback right now. Are we getting it now? Let's see. The indicator is not confirming that upside move. Looks like we're still going to have one more down. So we could still be getting to the downside. So we're still expecting that we may be getting one more down, but that needs to be confirmed because both structures are possible. If we get a corrective structure here, this is going to make a push to the upside and we get out of this structure. So we just need to wait for that confirmation. Okay, so if we get that confirmation, then we're going to see that 3 waves to the upside. Otherwise, we will have to make one more down before we make a bounce. Even that one more down does not necessarily it's going to mean that it's going to go. It just means that we're going to have one more down to complete the diagonal and make a move to the upside. Euro US dollar is the inverse. So Euro US dollar is the inverse of the DXY. So we could get a bit of a push to the upside, but the indicator is showing us a bit of downside here. So let's see here if we can get something like this, a move to the downside and a push to the a move to the downside here. So we need to get a move, a corrective structure here on the euro. This is also an ending diagonal here. Okay, is that diagonal complete? Does not look complete because this is what we're looking at. We're looking at this one to be the wave 4, and this one now starting to make an ending diagonal. So we could still get something like this on the euro, just like the DXY pushing lower for one more down. We could get one more up on the euro and then a move to the downside. So now the question is whether this is going to happen at current levels with this correction, or we're going to make a push to the upside. That we need to confirm first. Okay, so we'll see that when the market opens and see the structure that builds up around there on the euro. Pound US dollar. Pound US dollar is showing us upside. We're seeing upside on pound US dollar. So this is the corrective structure here. One more push to the upside in the coming sessions. Let's just have a look at the bigger structure here on pound US dollar. So you can see the trend is upside here on pound US dollar. If you look at previous videos on the pound, you'll see that we've been expecting this one to keep pushing up higher. Looking at this one to be making 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So this 1, 2 here, the move here that you see is 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So we could have ended the wave 5 there, and we're now looking for this one to make a 4 and a 5. Remember, we still have this. This move started here, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's another view. I'll show you another view which is similar to this here on the website. So you can see that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Okay, but we are now in this. Let's go here, 1, 2, 3. So the pullback that we're seeing here is this wave 4. Question is whether this wave 4 in yellow has completed. This is what I've shown here. Are we going to push up higher, or we're going to, this push to the upside can just be a 3-wave correction. We get the wave 4 and then a push to the upside. Whatever pullback we get, we know that the trend is still upside looking at this. So let's just show you the other view here on the website on pound US dollar. Same bias, except that this move overall is making an ABC. Unfortunately, you can't see the whole chart here. Instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this could be an ABC structure. We're still looking for that pullback. We're still looking for that upside. Okay, so that is pound US dollar. Let's have a look at more. So expect this one to pull back and make a move to the upside. Okay, that is pound US dollar CHF. US dollar CHF is similar to the DXY, also bounced out of the diagonal. Are we ready to make a push to the upside? This is a move to the upside here. So we're expecting this one to start making a diagonal here, like that. Can still build the diagonal, but we need to see if this is going to make a correction here. If we make a correction here, we're at least going to make a 3-wave move. Even that 3-wave move is still going to be a continuation pattern to the downside. We don't have confirmation yet for upside, so let's have a look. So we could have this one. This could have already started the 3-wave move to the upside. Looks like this one is going to continue at least to the upside, but that's not the overall reversal, just a 3-wave pullback there on US dollar CHF. US dollar CAD, let's have a look at US dollar CAD here on the website on the 4-hour. So US dollar CAD, you can see from right at the top here, we've been looking for US dollar CAD to keep coming down. This is the overall target at 28 on US dollar CAD. You will see this chart posted on our social media pages on Twitter and Facebook as well. Just check out how we've traded this one from right at the top coming down. So now we're still expecting continuation pattern to the downside. Why are we expecting continuation pattern to the downside? Let's have a look. That wave 5 is still incomplete, and we're still looking for this one here. This one is just confirmed that we're still gonna continue to the downside. That is US dollar CAD, Audi US dollar. We have a trade setup on Audi US dollar. I showed this trade setup last week where we bought this one right here, and then we're looking for this one to make a push to the upside. Has reached target at 74,500. Now we're making a pullback here. We're going to get this one to correct here and make a move to the upside. So let's wait for the structure that is going to build here. We'll see if we're going to get continuation pattern to the downside. That is AUD US dollar, New Zealand. So New Zealand, let's just have a look here on the New Zealand. Just want to show you something here. All right, so this is New Zealand US dollar. So New Zealand US dollar, we're looking at this structure here. This is the latest chart, latest update data chart. So we're looking for this one to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're looking at a possible diagonal here. So that means we'll be looking for this one to pull back here and push up higher and make this wave 5. And then we're going to expect a deeper correction. So at this stage here, we're looking for this one to pull back. This is New Zealand US dollar and the structure we're looking at on New Zealand. All right, so a bit of a push to the upside and then a move down. Let's just show this one here. That's New Zealand US dollar. We've already gone through AUD US dollar. Let's have a look at US dollar ZAR. So US dollar ZAR is going to continue lower. It's going to continue lower. Let's wait to see this one, how it's going to behave after breaking the low here. Let's just show here the bigger structure on US dollar ZAR. So US dollar ZAR, we're looking at this structure here. We'll be looking for this one to break out of that structure. What is that structure? So what we're looking at here is a possible structure like this. After we break here, we should see a deeper pullback. A deeper pullback. So this looks like a expanding diagonal playing out on the US dollar ZAR. It's not a very common pattern. Let's see how this is going to develop. Okay, so but we're still looking for this one to continue lower. After this, we're going to expect a 3-wave pullback. So this structure is, let's just switch this one off. That looks like a 1, 2, still incomplete here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So we're looking for the last wave 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So we're looking for the 5 here. We are en route wave 5 to the downside here. That is a regular flat in wave 4, and we're coming down. So watch out when it comes down below here. We'll be looking for upside on US dollar ZAR. Right, so let's look at the rest of the pairs here. Pound yen. Pound yen looks upside for the next in the next coming session. This should be a continuation pattern to the upside. Similar structure to pound US dollar. Now the question is whether this is all a correction. Are we going to push up higher, or are we still going to come deeper and make a deeper structure here and continue to the upside? So let's just wait for this to develop on pound yen. US dollar yen, we had a trade set up for a buy here, but it's not really going anywhere. We bought US dollar ZAR around this area, has made this move to the upside, but that move looks to be a corrective one here. It's not coming, it's not going fast. So we see a 3-wave move to the upside. It looks like we're making another 3 waves here. Okay, so if that is a 3-wave, we could get back to entry and still make a push to the upside. Let's see how this one develops. But for now, watch for this one to make a slight pullback. That is US dollar yen, euro yen. Euro yen looks looking downside. So this push to the upside doesn't mean anything. We could be having here a corrective structure, and we can come and retest this low. What this will do will be a flat correction, at least back to around these levels here on euro yen. Not necessarily a good risk reward ratio trade here. Structurally, you may just want to wait for a trade for a continuation pattern to the upside when the move resumes. Right, so that is euro yen, chief yen. Chief yen, similar to the euro. This one is already clear and it's showing downside. That's one move to the downside, a move up. We're looking for downside to retest this low here. I'm going to retest this and start pushing higher. That is the trade I'll be looking for upside after making this flat correction. CAD yen. Now CAD yen also looking upside there. So we've bought CAD yen. I just want to see here, we've got a trade set up on CAD yen from around here. We're still expecting continuation pattern to the upside. So this is looking corrective here from the moment it started making the structure. So we've got this one here. We could be making a 3 there, pull down here and make a continuation pattern to the upside. So that structure, if we have to go into detail here, we've got a 3-wave structure in wave B there. That is your wave B, that is A, B, and the C. We can come back with this one before we push to the upside on CAD yen. Right, so a bit of a push to the upside here. Let's watch it. If it clears here, then that means we're gonna see more upside. Let's watch that one. AUD yen. AUD yen, we've got a bounce. We've got a bounce from the bottom here, but this is still bearish. So as much as we've got this one here, this can still do this, and we can still come back down here like that. Then that is a decent corrective structure. We resume a move to the upside. As it is now, it is not ready for a reversal as yet. Can still continue from here and push a little bit lower. But overall, the trend is still to the upside on AUD yen. Right, so this is the New Zealand US dollar, similar. We've got a pullback here. We've got a bit of a push to the upside. This is still bearish, so we can come back down here like that. Then that is a decent structure that is tradable. Then we can look for a continuation pattern to the upside. You can decide whether you want to trade the downside, but I'm not interested in that as yet. I'll be looking for this one to continue to the upside. Right, let's go to the commodities. Now, looking at the commodities, we've been looking at gold corrective structure since it made this pulsing move. These are 5 waves. Remember when this move started, I showed you that this is actually 5 waves. You won't see it on the 4-hour, but if you go to the 1 hour, you can actually see the number of waves clearly here. Let me show you on the 1 hour. So this is the 1 hour, and you can actually see the number of waves on the 1 hour. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3. There is a wave 4 here that you don't see on the 4-hour because there's fewer candles there. Right, so that is 5 waves. So let's have a look. Let's go back to the 1 hour and see the overall structure on gold. So back on the 4 hour. So we know now that this is 5 waves. Even if you don't see the 5 waves on the 4 hour, this is 5 waves. What we're expecting here is that this is a corrective structure. It's gonna fill up this space, and then we're gonna make a continuation to the upside. But we don't just talk about filling up the space. We talk about the patterns. We talk about the characteristics of the patterns. By characteristics, we're referring to the Fibonacci levels and the behavior. So now let's have a look at this one. Let's use a different color here. We've got a move to the upside. This can take a number of paths within the corrective structure. We've forecasted this one last week to come down. Last week, we actually forecasted that this was going to continue to the upside. There was a possibility of this one continuing to the upside to take the top here. This is also a possibility. We can take this one here, come back down here, and then push to the upside. See, it's still the same structure, because what we're looking for, I'll show you why we're looking at this structure. Then we're looking for upside. Why are we still looking for continuation to the upside on gold? Okay, so this structure would be A, that's 5 waves there, B, and a C. We just want to see the structure here complete. Why are we so focused on this? Because what we're looking for is the bigger push to the upside, because the structurally, gold is on an impulsive move. Let's show you on the structure here. Gold is on an impulsive move to the upside. Let's see if we can see it. Yeah, here it is. We're still only in wave 4 in the red degree. My chart is such a mess here. Let me see if I can clean it up a bit. Right, better, cleaned up. Right, so this is the wave 4 that we're looking for. So whichever structure this plays out within the corrective structure, that's what we're looking to complete. Then we look for this one to make a push to the upside. We're looking for this wave 4 in red. So this could be the wave C here in green, bigger B here, and then we're looking for that wave 5. Okay, so then we still have 3 in yellow, and 4 in yellow, and 5 and blue. We still have an uptrend on gold. Let me show you the daily structure. So we still have this trend here on gold. So we're just looking for this wave 4 to complete currently. Then we'll look for continuation to the upside. So we'll look for the pulsing moves, not the corrective one, the corrective ones. Right, let's go back to the 4-hour and look at silver. Silver, now just like gold, is also forming a corrective structure. Is this going to continue here, make a bounce up here, and make a move, and then go here? So structure that we'll be looking at is this one here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 here. Similar to gold, but what the structure that the wave that we'll be looking to trade is this one here. The wave 5 in white all the way to the upside. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. So this will be confirmed by our indicator when it's ready, and then we'll trade it to the upside. All right, so that's what we have. That's silver. Let's look at Brent crude. Brent crude has just completed an ending diagonal. It's just completed an ending diagonal. As you can see there, expect a pullback here. We actually expected this one to make one push to the upside before coming down here. Okay, we didn't get that last push. We didn't have an overshoot here on the diagonal. So we've got to move down here, wait for a pullback, and a move to the downside here. Okay, short term, at least get to this level on Brent crude. You can see the structure clearly in the number of waves there. Let's go to the pound pairs. So last week we spoke, the last 2 weeks we spoke about the rally in September. Has started slightly, but has now pulled back. We bought pound chief at this level, rallied about 150 pips in a matter of 4 hours. Let me just show you the trade. See if I can find it quickly here. Pound chief trade setup for upside. Right, got it. So this is pound chief. This is where we bought pound chief. We rallied to about this level. We didn't really go anywhere. So this is where we were. This is how far it went, and it is now pulling back. So about 150 pip move to the upside, and now we have pulled back to entry. Back to entry again. Looks like we're going to have another tranche here for upside. So let's have a look here at the structure. So this is how pound chief played out. So this is where we bought pound chief. As you can see, rallied about, let's just check the number of pips here, about 140, 150 pips there. Now we're exactly back where we got that. Doesn't mean that it's a new trade. So if it's a new trade setup, this has to be confirmed. So whenever you see me showing you a chart with entry and exit, take profit like that, entry like that, that means that that trade has been confirmed by the indicator. So we stick with the trade. So we've got this one here. We'll be looking for the indicator to confirm if this is gonna continue to the upside. Okay, so that was the first tranche here. Got the move to the upside here. Back at entry, let's see if we're gonna get another opportunity to sell this one to the upside. So it does not mean anything here. This trend lines don't mean anything. We're not trading breakouts, because you find there's people who talk about false breakouts and all that. We don't talk about false breakout. If it's a breakout, it's a breakout. If it's false, it means it was never a breakout in the first place. So if it's going to be a breakout, it will be confirmed by the indicator. So we don't get into the trap of trading so-called false breakouts, because we look at the indicator to confirm our Elliott wave structures. So that's pound chief. That's what we're going to be looking at. We'll be looking for this one to continue higher if confirmed. Right, so that's pound chief. We also attempted a trade on pound AUD. Okay, so this is pound AUD. As you can see here, this was our entry here on completion of this structure. Let's show the bigger structure here so we can see where you're coming from. Let's take this off. Right, so pound AUD, we made a pulsing move, we made a flat correction. So after the end of the flat correction, we took a trade here. Okay, so it pulled back just like pound chief did. So we took a trade here, made a bit of a push to the upside, but now came back again. So what are we looking at here? We're looking at this one to be making a running flat possibly, but it's not so convincing anymore because it looks a bit corrective. So let's see if we're going to keep pushing up higher. We've got a trade set up on this one running. We've got a trade set up on pound chief as well. So we'll be managing that. Let's look at pound CAD. Pound CAD, Pound CAD is going down. That's obviously because of the CAD in it. So we've got a push down in 3 waves. Again, talking about identifying the waves. So this is 3 waves down, 3 waves up. You're looking for another 3 waves down here. So pound CAD, look for pullbacks to come down around that level. Then we'll look for this one to resume higher. Simple on pound CAD. Pound New Zealand, we wanted to buy pound New Zealand on this breakout. We wanted to get this one here, but that trade failed. It did not go. So this means this is still continuing to the downside. We're still continuing lower here. So any pullback on pound New Zealand, we're still coming down. We're going to get a deeper one at some point, but we're going to be looking downside. All right, so that is pound New Zealand, euro pound. Euro pound. So we look, where is euro pound going? Euro pound is still going to continue lower. Got that one. Look for continuation to the downside on euro pound. So that means a bit of a push to the upside on the pound, supporting our buys on pound chief and pound Audi. Let's go to the euros. This is Euro Audi. Euro Audi, we are on a downtrend. This looks like an expanding flat continuation pattern to the downside. So look for continuation pattern to the downside on Euro Audi. We're still playing out this flat correction on Euro Audi. So we had 1, 2, 3 here. So the move was coming down here, corrected, and now it's continuing down. So this is another continuation pattern to the downside. If you get a trade here, next stop will be around 1.6 on Euro Audi. EURCAD. EURCAD continuation to the downside. So this is the one that I started with in the beginning. So just look for continuation to the downside. Now you know why we're looking for downside on EURCAD. EURCHF. EURCHF is a bit different to the rest of the euros. So we've got a move up here. We've got a corrective structure here. That's a move up. That's 3 waves. Why do I say 3 waves there? Let me clear it and draw it cleanly. We've got 1, 2, 1, a pulse move to the upside. This is 5 waves up. Now you've got 1, 2, 3 here, and this one is making a continuation pattern to the upside, possibly to come take this top here. This top here could be coming for that one. So what we have in here is a move up, and we could be coming down up here in 3 waves. Same way we had 1, 2, and a 3. So we've made a move. This is pulsing move. It was not corrective, did not give an opportunity to buy this one. So if we get this one to pull back here, the next stop will be around that level. Why are we looking for that? Because we're looking for this bigger corrective structure. All right, so for now, we're just looking for this to be confirmed upside. That's EUROCHF, Euro New Zealand. Euro New Zealand, we saw that you've got a trade setup running on Euro New Zealand going very well. Let's have a look at Euro New Zealand. We've got the Euro New Zealand trade setup going very well here. I can't find it here, so let's just have a look at the chart here. Let's just have a look at the current chart. Right, Euro New Zealand, we had a setup here. This is where we sold Euro New Zealand, looking for this one to come down. So we had a sell set up here on Euro New Zealand, and then we had this one. So we've got a bit of a bounce here, not a bit of a bounce. We've got a strong impulse, but that impulse doesn't mean anything as long as the indicator does not confirm. And as it is here, as much as this bounce is strong, what we're seeing in the on the indicator is that this is not even a continuation pattern for upside. The indicator is just telling us that this is going to continue down in the next coming session. Okay, so with the indicator, you will never be fooled into thinking that there's a pulsing move, there's a reversal, because it has to confirm that move. So we're looking for downside here. Right, Euro, let's look at the crosses. AUDCAD. Like most of the pairs that have got a CAD in them, they're making downside moves, corrective moves. That's a 3-wave move, and you can see even the lower degree, it's got 3 waves, 1, 2, 3 here. We're looking for 1, 2, 3. A pullback here will give us this one here. So that will be a WXY structure. So look for continuation pattern to the downside, so you know why you're looking for these pullbacks to complete that structure. AUDCHF, we also had a buy setup on AUDCHF. We had a buy setup around these levels, pushed up higher and pushed back. Right, so now we've got another bounce here. It's going to continue pushing higher with a pound CHF. CHF has been looking weak, so let's see if this is going to continue to the upside. So this structure overall, we could be looking for a structure like this, and move up, down, take the top, and the bigger structure would be this one. What you have here is an A, B, C, and then continuation to the downside. But this C can only come after we have completed this one. We need to complete, this one needs to complete here to the top. Then we can start looking for that C. Right, that is AUDCHF, Audi New Zealand. Audi New Zealand is currently on a downtrend. We're currently on a downtrend, but overall we may be getting this one to make a bigger corrective structure. So let's see how this one is going to play out, because I'm very bullish Audi New Zealand. So this one should short term come to the downside. Are we going to start looking for getting this here? It's not safe to sell it at this point because it has already gone down this deep. So it will be safe to sell if you get a correction this big. This one is to be too small. Okay, so you could find that you get a sell setup here, your indicator confirms, you get a downside here, you get divergence, and then you start pushing to the upside like that. The indicator won't tell you how far it will go. It will tell you that there is a move, there is a reaction. Whether that reaction is a reversal or a bigger move, you will not know. That is why we use that in combination with the Elliott Wave theory to determine the sequence as well. New Zealand CAD, again, another CAD pair, looking for continuation to the downside. Continuation to the downside. New Zealand CHF. This is actually the one that we had a buy setup on and not AUDCHF as mentioned earlier. My apologies. So we've got this one here. We've got this one here. It's pushing up higher. This is going to push to the previous high again, the recent high. Pull back here and continue to the upside. For now, just look for this, but don't trade this before it clears this level. CADJPY. CAD is very strong, as you can see. Look for continuation pattern to the upside. Right, let's look at the indices. Don't forget the crypto video. Check out the crypto video immediately after this one. So this is S&P 500. The S&P 500 and the indices are very simple. We've looked at these 5 waves. We wanted to get, we had broken the all-time highs. Now the question is whether this is a reversal or just a pullback to continue higher. So we want to get a deeper pullback to at least the 38% of the whole move, 38% of the whole move before we resume higher. So let's see if we're going to get that. So we've made a pulsing move here. Let's see what structure we're going to get here. We've got clear 5 waves here and an extended wave 5. Let's see if we're going to start getting a corrective structure. Now you won't know which corrective structure is going to play out here. So this corrective structure could even be a sideways one. So we cannot speculate. So let's see what structure is going to play out here after this. So that is the S&P 500. The Dow Jones Industrial will be similar as we made a pullback after the 5 waves. We're going to get that. How far is this going to go? Is it going to be a W, X, Y? We cannot speculate. We wait for it to play out. Then we start looking for setups. Transportation is similar to the industrial, exactly the same thing. We are on the 5th wave. This one has not really dropped as yet, but there is divergence there, looking for downside. It's actually like this here. Right. NASDAQ, also a very deep pullback. A very deep move to the downside here. Let's have a look. Which one? Let's get the structure here. So on the NASDAQ, this is a 3-wave move. Looks like a 3-wave move here. it's going to continue to the upside. That's just a 3-wave pullback. We should see continuation to the upside eventually. All right, so that is the NASDAQ and what we're looking at on the NASDAQ. UK 100. UK 100 still coming down correctively with this move. 1, 2, 3. This is the end of that move, and we're going to start seeing a move to the upside, because internally here again, you've got 3 waves there. This is another 3 waves. 1, 2, and 3. It's another 3 waves. You can see the market is moving in 3 waves within the corrective structure. That's how it should move anyway. Right, so we're going to get this one to push slightly into the lower boundary and start making a push to the upside. That's an A, B, C structure. Let's see how this one is going to play out. That is UK 100. We've got a bit of divergence, so with that we can get that bounce to the upside. All right, so that is UK 100. The DAX, we had a trade set up on the DAX for upside that has failed. Did not really go anywhere. Let's have a look. Go to the DAX. Right, so DAX, just like the NASDAQ, looks like we're getting a 3-wave corrective structure here after the 5-wave move. We're looking for this one to come around this level. So this is an ABC corrective structure here. Looking for this one to come down. That is the DAX and Nikkei. Nikkei also looks like it's going to make a similar structure like this one here. Let's show the structure here. 1, 2, 3. Look at this one here. That's a corrective structure in the B degree. That's A, B, and the C there. And bigger structure, we've got 1. Whole thing is a B. And then we look for a C and then upside. So this would be a bigger A, bigger C. Let's get this one off here. C. No, this is C. And this would be a B. Amount of space there. And then we look for upside. So look for a pullback here on the Nikkei for this move to complete the. So that will be a wave 4 on the Nikkei. This will be a wave 4 on the Nikkei, so that means wave 4 on the Nikkei is not complete yet. It can take this form here and then push higher. Keep an eye on that. And that's all for today, guys. So look out for the crypto webinar. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you get an alert next time we upload a video. Drop a comment, your suggestions. We'll take them into consideration as well. Thank you so much. Have a great week and trade responsibly. Bye, everybody.